You know, there's this fascinating story about a stormtrooper. Not your typical Imperial soldier tale, but one that'll make you think differently about those white armored figures we love to joke about. It all started during a routine mission on some distant outer rim planet. TK-4872, that's what they called him back then, was part of a standard search and destroy operation. The mission went sideways when a massive sandstorm hit, separating him from his unit. His comms were dead, navigation systems fried, and that pristine white armor, well, it wasn't so pristine anymore. Days turned into weeks as he wandered, trying to find his way back. But you know what's funny about being lost? Sometimes it leads you exactly where you need to be. He stumbled upon this small farming community, far from any Imperial outpost. These people, they didn't see a stormtrooper. They just saw a person who needed help. At first, he kept his armor hidden, telling himself it was temporary. He learned about soil and seasons, about how to coax life from the ground instead of following orders to destroy it. The local farmers taught him everything, from planting crops to maintaining moisture evaporators. It was a different kind of precision than what he'd learned in Imperial training, but somehow more meaningful. Then he met her, the daughter of one of the farmers. She saw past his awkward attempts at being a civilian, past his formal speech patterns that screamed military. She taught him how to laugh, really laugh, not just that nervous chuckle stormtroopers would share in the barracks. Before he knew it, he had his own plot of land, growing sustainable crops that fed not just himself but the whole community. He married that farmer's daughter and they had kids, 3 of them, can you imagine? A stormtrooper who once marched in perfect formation now chasing toddlers through fields of wheat, teaching them about harvest seasons instead of combat formations. Sometimes late at night he'd look up at the stars and think about his old life. The Empire probably marked him as killed in action. But here he was, more alive than he'd ever been in that armor. His children would ask about his past and he'd tell them stories, not of battles and glory, but of how sometimes the greatest adventures come from getting completely, utterly lost. You see, his old unit was searching for rebels, but he found something far more revolutionary. A simple life filled with love, purpose, and peace. That white armor still sits in his barn, covered in dust. A reminder that sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is getting lost and finding your way home to a place you never knew you were looking for.